right, good morning, good afternoon, good night, good evening, wherever the heck you are. It's good to see you again. This is lesson 6 for Wednesday, March 25th, 2020. I am your humble media tech teacher, and let's get to this, right? On to lesson 6. Today we're talking about the 2 types of production when it comes to making TV. Easy enough, right? Now you know the drill by now. I teach you a couple of different lessons each and every day. How do we do that without cameras in an editing facility? Easy, we do it the Heinz way. We get creative and just keep punching away at that bag, right? Hey, yo, Rocky. All right. Anyway, each day you'll have a warm-up and a short video from me, some notes in Google Class, and an assignment to make sure you know the material. And don't worry, you know we keep it short and sweet. Really, my whole goal is that you get the information, you learn the information, you walk away remembering the information. That's all that matters to me. All right, so you're gonna have a warm-up every day. You're gonna have this daily video that you're watching right now, and then you're gonna have a classroom assignment, right? Okay, yo Adrian, let's do it. All right, so today we're talking about TV production, and really most productions consist of one or both of these, E&G and or studio production. This may be fairly easy for some of you Media Tech 3 and 4s, right? Just keep up. Apollo Creed would. E&G TV production is basically production done out in the field. And I mean, you know what this is. When we say out in the field, we mean anywhere we are shooting outside of a newsroom or a classroom. E&G stands for electronic news gathering. Simply put, you're outside of the station gathering news with your camera. You don't know this, but all of your projects so far have been E&G. E&G can be done solo. I've done that lots of times by myself. So it can be done with anywhere from 1 to 3 people. Sometimes even more. Of course, you know, you can add more people, but the traditional setup would be a camera person, a reporter, and sometimes a producer. You could also add a second camera or someone to run audio if you've got a bunch of mics. Larger productions would even have people running lights and cables, but typically most of your E&G crews will just be a camera guy and a reporter. Or should I say a camera girl and a reporter, either way, right? As we've talked all break long, E&G crews will be on the scene shooting B-roll video, they'll be shooting interviews, they'll be shooting stand-ups, and maybe even doing a live shot. That's what the E&G crews do when they gather news electronically. So that's E&G, that's electronic news gathering. On the other side would be studio production. We'll get more into all those jobs on the studio side on Friday, and there are quite a few people involved, but just to name a few, you'd have an anchor, a show producer, director, technical director, someone running audio, a studio camera operator, and a floor director. Again, we'll get into those jobs a little later this week. Hey, anybody want to see a picture of Mr. Gallus when he was young? That picture quality might not be that good, but the hair is on point. All right, back to it. Now, the main purpose of these jobs would be to put on a studio-based show, right? Like a newscast. This is where you'd see a majority of all newscasts done, in the studio. This could be the local news done at Channel 2 or Channel 4, which is done in Mount Pleasant, or the national guys up in New York City. It really doesn't matter where you are, South Carolina or South Africa, St. Petersburg, Florida, or St. Petersburg, Russia. Most E&G and most studio productions run the same sort of setups that will allow transmission out to the various news outlets, right? One thing that complicates this even more is you could technically do E&G in the field inside of a studio. Now, what do I mean? I'll tell you, because I've actually done this. A few years ago, I did a story where we followed Monet Davis, who was a hotshot female pitcher in the Little League World Series. We followed her around the country. We shot E&G both in the studios of Good Morning America in New York City and at the Steve Harvey Show in Chicago. I was literally doing E&G in a studio. Strange, but true. And those are basically the 2 types of productions you'd find when it comes to TV, E&G and studio production. All right, now let's get into our daily assignment. Write a short 1-page paper, single-spaced, no font larger than 16, on which side interests you more, E&G or studio production. Also include which job you think you'd enjoy the most, and make sure you do your warm-up as well. Now, with all of this free time, I'm sure you're getting sick of ticking and talking, so here are some ideas for you. First up, let's start with a quote, right? This is from Winston Churchill. He said, "I'm prepared to meet my maker. Whether my maker is prepared for the great ordeal of meeting me is another matter." Straight up, go on. Be that person. Be original. Be extra if you have to. Don't be that extra in my classroom because I really don't want to deal with it. But be that guy, right? And we were talking about hard work and all the hard work required to do any sort of production to create quality content. Here's my movie recommendation, right? Today it's Rocky. I mean, it won an Academy Award and made Sylvester Stallone a household name. That's a must watch. Ready for a song? And let's keep with the theme. What else are we gonna stick with? The Boxer. Simon and Garfunkel killed it with a song that if you listen to the lyrics, you'll love. They recorded it back in 1969, and its greatness has never waned. And finally, if you want another book recommendation, Truman by David McCullough. Yesterday, I suggested you read up on Walter Cronkite. Today, I recommend another KC native, Harry Truman. The guy just did his job. He was president, he fought in World War I, ended World War II, and was a no-nonsense guy. You know that buck stops here sign on my desk and the picture of the old guy holding the newspaper on my wall? That's Harry Truman. The dude was a straight legend, but of course he was. He's from Kansas City, right? Makes sense. Here's my challenge to you today, right? I need you to do good, and this is what I mean. Clean out your old clothes and donate them to the less fortunate. Listen, if you're not wearing something or you outgrew something, give it to somebody who could use it, right? There's plenty of unfortunate people out there that would love to have your clothes, and I ain't kidding. So pass it on to someone who will be extremely grateful for it. All right, that's enough for me today, right? Tomorrow we're going to talk about the different kinds of jobs in a TV newsroom. And now I know you want to go get on your streaks, so go ahead and do your streaks, have fun, God bless, you do what you do, right? You should probably clean that room. Please, clean the room, it's filthy.